Hey everyone, my name is Nick, your new friendly neighborhood review guy, welcoming you back to Nickelodeon. Today we're going to talk about an anime that I have been quite excited for some time now. And that anime is Demon Slayer Mugen Train. I've been waiting for this movie for a long time now, since the first season of Demon Slayer ended. And I have to tell you before I start reviewing this movie is that this movie is totally a canon. You cannot watch this movie without watching the series. I mean, you probably can watch the movie, but
Probably not a good idea.
so before I say anything about the movie, I want to talk a little bit about the Demon Slayer series. And I just want to say that Demon Slayer is one of the best animes to come in recent years because of its amazing arts and amazing visuals, awesome background scores, and like awesome actions all packed in together into one anime makes it just an amazing show, top tier anime class shit. This movie actually covers a very small arc in the Demon Slayer manga, I think. I am so glad that they didn't put this into the second season and like run it for like 5 to 10 episodes, because most animes would do that, and most anime movies up until now are just movies that are not canon. I mean, yeah, sure, the movies are great, but they never mattered in the main series and they were never even mentioned. So the weight of those movies don't really feel much going back into the shows. But this one is definitely canon. This one starts exactly where the first season ends and shows you how important it is going forward for season 2. And I'm really glad that they made this decision to make this a movie that really matters. So like I said, this movie starts off exactly where the first season of Demon Slayer ends. We follow our favorite band of little demon slayers, Tanjiro, his cute little sister Nezuko, Inosuke the boarhead, and Zenitsu the yellow-haired guy that yells a lot. So they receive a mission to board the Mugen train and meet up with a Hashira. The Hashiras are extremely skilled, best of the best demon hunters in the Demon Hunter Corps. And they are to meet up with this guy because there have been reports that people and some of the demon slayers have been going missing in this train. And the Demon Slayer Corps believes that there is, and usually there is, a demon behind all of this. So our heroes and the Hashira, they have to just investigate what's going on, who's doing this, and kill him or exercise him. It's basically just killing. It's just cutting the neck. Yeah, I was always taken by how great the animation was on the Demon Slayer series. I'm just happy to say that this movie's animation is out of the park. I mean, the series was great and this is just better. Yeah, there are some CGIs implemented in this movie that are not so great, but mostly they're well done. It doesn't take you out of the experience, so it's still good. Coming down to the story, it has everything just like it did in the series. The very funny moments that make you laugh out loud, and gut-wrenching emotional scenes that almost make you cry, and amazing action sequences. In this movie, most of the funny scenes I think will come from Yunosuke, the boarhead, rather than Tanjiro or Zenitsu or anyone else. There are still funny scenes from them, but Yunosuke just steals the show. Whenever he is there, he's just funny as hell. The Hashira guy that they meet up is actually really funny too, and he's very cool. I'm gonna talk about him more in a little bit. This movie starts off in a really funny and lighthearted way, but just like that, it goes dark. So everyone gets trapped into this kind of a Freddy Krueger kind of situation, but opposite, where someone has put them to sleep and transported them into a memory that is like the best memory of their lives, or something that they really, really want to have in their life. Like a passenger might have lost someone dear to them, and they can actually meet them and be with them forever in this dream state. Basically, your deepest desires that would make you the most happiest are just playing on a loop. So it actually gets you to sleep much more faster and go into a much more deep sleep than usual. And in the meantime, the villain can get your ass. For Tanjiro, it's his dead family, his mother, his little brothers and sisters, including Nezuko, just playing around, living their everyday life like nothing happened. And it's an extremely emotional scene. Some of you will be bawling your eyes out. So be prepared for that. Everyone else is basically just having similar dreams, having a great dream that they don't want to wake up from. But our heroes, they have to wake up. And before waking up, they have to know that this is a dream. And after realizing that this is a dream, I mean, it's very hard to wake up from something that you are fighting for. But they have to wake up and find out who is this asshole who's doing this to them. And speaking of assholes, the villain in this movie is a fucking asshole, and I like it. I'll tell you why. So, up until now, most of the villains in the Demon Slayer series, they all kinda had a sob story that made you feel for them a little bit before they were killed. That's great. But sometimes there are villains that are just plain bad. No remorse, no feelings, just fucking psychopaths who loves and enjoys killing and the suffering of others. Sometimes you need to be enraged at a villain for what he did rather than feel sad for him even after knowing that he has done a lot of bad things. And this guy you can be enraged about because he doesn't have any solid reason or any like emotional reason or any good reason for what he's doing. What he's doing is plain bad, and he's doing it and he knows it and he enjoys it. I've heard a lot of people like complain about this villain, that he's very one note and blah blah blah, but I think it was a great decision that they didn't choose to give this guy like a backstory and waste 15 to 20 minutes showing that why he turned evil, or that sometimes back he was a good guy and then he turned evil or anything like that. Because this is a movie, this is not the series. So in the series you probably can stretch a fight into 2 or 3 episodes and yeah, show a bit of a side or anything about the villain, even if he was bad or even if he was good, doesn't matter. But in the movie, they just didn't waste that time. They just showed him as a villain that is a villain. So I had no issue with how he was handled and actually liked it, because I have seen a lot of backstories with villains in the Demon Slayer series before. This one, I'm okay with it. And this guy is actually not a very lame villain either. You can probably guess by now that this guy controls the dreams, and he can make you have the best dream of your life or the worst nightmare that you can ever imagine. And it's very hard to attack him too, because if you go to attack him, he can just put you to sleep just like that. A very difficult opponent for everyone in the train, even the Hashira. So I liked it. The score of this movie is just so spectacular. I remember that the Demon Slayer series score was awesome, and that I never ever skipped the first song, the intro song of the Demon Slayer series. 26 episodes, I watched and listened to that song 26 times, man. Maybe more, I don't know. I even listened to that sometimes just for no reason. It's the same here, never misses a beat. It's greatly synced with whatever is going on in the background. I love the music score. Also, this movie is a very fast-paced action movie. Don't forget that, because yeah, there is drama, but there is also a ton of action in this movie that will not get you bored at any point of time. The third act has this big action sequence involving the Flame Hashira guy, Rengoku, the guy that our group is with. And like I said already, this guy is a total badass and absolutely cool as hell. And this fight is balls to the walls, no bullshit, no time wasting stuff, just amazing, visually pleasing, jaw-dropping action scenes backed with some amazing score playing in the background. and he's not the kind of a badass who just comes into the scene and ends the fight in 10 seconds. This is a really long, stretched out fight that is just amazing to look at, spectacularly done, and it pays off so well. This guy wasn't in the series before that much, or in the movie for that matter, but whenever he was on scene, it was just freaking unforgettable, cool moment. Actually, everyone had their time in this movie. Everyone had a job to do, and they all did it perfectly. Nezuko and Zenitsu, maybe not that much, but they also did have something to do in this movie, and they did it well, and it made sense for the story to sideline them a little bit. This movie ends on a very sad note, and it shows you that going forward, this movie is actually going to be really, really important, because a lot of character development happened for Tanjiro and Yunosuke on this one. Actually, everyone else, and it shows the impact that it will have in the Demon Slayer core, on the Demon Slayer world, and going forward that they will mention what happened in this movie. The events of this movie will not be forgotten. I want more anime movies to be as important as this movie is to their series. I think this movie will have a significant impact on how anime movies are done from now on, because this movie shows that if you make a movie that is really important to the series as well, it actually becomes a really, really big hit, rather than making something that no one even remembers into the second season or third season or whatever going forward into. This movie got such a big hit in Japan, and even now in the US and everywhere else that it's playing on. I am just so glad that this movie is amazing and this movie matters. And going forward, I want more animes to follow on their footsteps. Breathtaking visuals, awesome score mixed with some spectacular action scenes and gut-wrenching emotional moments makes this movie a beautiful piece of art. I'm gonna give this movie a solid 8 because it's fucking great. Hey, thank you so much everyone for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please press the subscribe and the like button, because that will help me out. And I will see you on the next episode of Nickelodeon. Thank you.